sure if this qualifies as like trying to polish too early or whatever, but um, I get to spend time on things that I enjoy here, so why not this? So I went ahead and turned off camera look ahead because it has a little bit of art. Whenever I um, change direction, it has this like weird spring thing going on. I have to fix. But yeah, so now I've got I think a nice rotation going on, and the accelerations and everything is all feeling very good. It feels very tight movement, almost that like Super Nintendo, uh, like very kind of discrete feeling movement over the past style. Very we have it's very responsive, um, but the animation there's a little bit of smoothing going on in the animation so that they don't transition too fast, and there's just a little bit of momentum, here and there. Um, and so this is, I think, feeling really good, and I've got a nice like curve going on for the rotation change, so that it's instead of like a linear change, it's like an sort of bias S curve change, bias toward the end of the rotation change. So for instance, if I'm going right and then I change up, it changes. It does most of the rotation very quickly, but then slows down. There's like a slight ease in, but it's most of the rotation happens toward the end. I think that looks nice, and it's still very snappy. Um, yeah, so this is actually feeling really good. Um, I think I'm probably going to. I think tomorrow I might actually make a 3D model. I've made and rigged a model before. Sure, I can do it again. The reason being that this model is a little bit. Oh, maybe I might be able to go on next one, but this model is really too realistic for the style that I'm going to be going for. I'm not exactly sure what style I'm going for, but I know this is too realistic, and um, I'm not sure if this is superstitious, but I don't think it is because I've seen this happen in a lot of artistic processes, including my own, where you get used to the aesthetic of something, or you get used to something being there, and it affects a lot of other decisions. So like him being realistic could make me want to, like, for instance, when I let go, when I holding him, moving to the right, and I let go, I could give him a little bit, like a few steps, and then have him stop, which would be great if if I meant for the character in this game to be as realistic as this character looks. However, um, what I really want is like I'm favoring responsiveness over realistic momentum, um, and so that would be a bad change, right? So I would make a change for this because it would look better with this model, but it would be a bad change for the game overall. Um, so what I want to do is like either make a model or find something that's like approximately the cartoonishness that I'm going for. Um, and it's gonna be ugly probably if I make it, but the point is that I need it to essentially have like the shape. I need to have it look like it can turn and have the right momentum for the controls that I want the game to have, rather than having it be like a realistic looking guy and have that affect the way I think the control should feel, right? Because I don't care that when I let go, he has a little bit of a weird step at the end. And with this model, if it doesn't matter with like a different model, it's possible I'll still need, some kind of smoothing out at the end with like a little, like maybe one step situation, but probably not. I'm really going for, um, something halfway between Super Nintendo and modern realistic graphics. And I think the controls should reflect that. So anyway, yes, it feels. I think this actually feels really good, and may actually want to make it even more responsive. I don't know, but this is actually very good as is. Um, I'm sure I love this 180-degree turn, but again, the model changes that might not matter. Like if he's not leaning, if the model isn't leaning, then the 180-degree turn can look really natural, even if it's really fast. So that maybe should be part of its design. It should maybe be kind of a round, you know, shape that rotates around its center very naturally, so that this looks ornate. Um, yeah. Anyway, that's two updates for today. Mostly, I guess, just been fiddling around with controls and animations and stuff, and I've been enjoying it anyway. So, anyway, thank you for watching.